So, first things first, I hope my screen is visible to everyone. Now, is it visible, guys? Yeah, okay. So let's get started. So first thing is, whenever we basically get started, whenever we try to learn about cyber security, first thing is we need to basically understand what is security, how basically we are going to learn, and how we are going to start about the security. So first things first, we'll try to figure out what is information security. First thing in this module is what is information security, guys. So whenever you go for information security, so let's take two scenarios. First thing is we got normal people. They are basically normal people who are using internet, people using the internet. People using the internet. So usually in day-to-day lives, each and every person is going to use internet. And can you guys tell me what are the common things you browse on internet in day-to-day life? What are the things you explore on internet? What do you search for? Okay, one is Google. Next, guys, YouTube. Okay, YouTube. You can take social media as a Facebook, Instagram, and everything. Social media is one of the platform. Okay, now I guess we covered three big domains here. One is search engine, second one is streaming platform, third one is social media, and social media includes Amazon, social media includes Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, each and every platform for the interaction, including WhatsApp and Telegram. Now, second thing is if you basically jump out and if you basically go for a wide thinking, we have something called as we also have government IDs. We have uh, bank account details. Bank account details. That is, you can go for bank account details on any of the e-commerce websites where you try to purchase some products or whatever you're trying to purchase. And also, you can take an example of UPI, the basic day-to-day UPI. There, you can tell you are basically entering the bank account details, and that is going all over the internet. So it is basically passing through the internet itself. Now, bank account details, and still you got normal customers information. So you got mails, password is going to be the sensitive data. Password is also basically the sensitive data. So these are basically all the sensitive data. And again, you can go for phone numbers as well. Phone numbers. Now, listen to this thing carefully, guys. So whenever you go for Google, YouTube, and social media, this is basically a complete. This is completely going to be the social media part. Now, whenever you go for government IDs, bank account details, passwords, and phone numbers, this is basically the sensitive data. This is sensitive data. This is social, your personal data. Now, whenever you go for this whole data, now how are we going to secure it? So securing this whole data, including your credit card details, bank details, government IDs, phone numbers, all the information. So the conclusion is whatever information is being shared all over the internet, okay? Whatever information is being shared all over the internet, that particular information should be secured. How it is being secured? So securing that particular information is called as information security. That is basically the term information security. Now, whenever you go for information security, there are different terms in information security. So we'll just discuss what are those. Before that, so this is basically the whole thing, whatever you use on internet that should be secured. So for that, we basically term it as the information security. Information basically stands for normal people's data, whoever is using the internet, that particular person's data. And security stands for whenever whenever you follow some kind of policies, you follow some kind of security measures, you follow some kind of protocols. So all those combinedly are basically come under the security part. So these are basically two different parts, information security. Now, okay, is my voice audible, guys, loud and clear, or anyone still have any issues? It is audible, right? Okay, okay. Then let's continue. Okay, let's continue. So whenever you go for information security, I guess I have made it clear that whatever information is basically explored on internet, whatever you try to keep it, share it on internet. So securing that particular information is termed as information security. Now, let's move forward. So I'll be telling you guys a few case studies here. How many of you have heard about eBay, guys? How many of you have heard about eBay? eBay is basically a e-commerce website. eBay. So eBay is going to be an e-commerce website. So everyone know what is e-commerce website, right? So you go online on that particular platform like Amazon and Flipkart, and you try to shop a lot of products. Either it is related to some kind of clothing brand or some kind of electrical information. So here, whenever you go for eBay, there is basically one case study that back in 2014 or 2015, the eBay platform was completely hacked. So there was a data breach of 140 million users, guys. So 140 million users data breach was there. So what do I mean by 140 million users is, so it includes all the customers' data. First thing, what was compromised exactly? Let's try to understand what was compromised. So customers data. So what was the amount of data that got breached? How many customers were there? There were 140 million customers. There were basically there were basically 140 million customers. So these 145 million customers. So these 145 million customers data was completely breached. So this is a real life example describing the need of information security, network security, how the security is important when it comes to the public platform. Whenever you're building a website, whenever you're building any kind of platform, you need to make sure that you follow the right security measures. So what was exactly breached in this? The information. What was the information? So whenever you go for the information, guys, here you have customers' names, you have encrypted passwords, you have email addresses, postal addresses. So it is common that whenever you go for e-commerce websites, postal addresses are going to be common because that is the main part where your parcel will get delivered whenever you try to order something. Another one is contact numbers and date of births, DOBs. So this is basically contact numbers, date of birth. This all information is related to this 140 million customer users. So whenever you go for these particular users, these are normal people. Like how you browse Amazon, how I browse Amazon, Flipkart, how I try to buy online products. So these people also were trusting eBay, that is an e-commerce website. They were trusting that eBay and they were trying to buy all the products. Now suddenly what happened one day? So what is the exact scenario, how this happened? Let me tell you. So basically, whenever you go for eBay employees, guys, there are basically employees, right? You have employees. That was for customers. This is for employees. These employees, what they did is, so they received a mail from some X person, from some unknown person. They received a mail. What was in that mail? Can anyone guess what was in that mail? So that caused that the mail was that harmful that it basically got 145 million customers data breach. What was in that mail, guys? Can anyone guess? It is one of the famous attack, guys. So usually people do it. Phishing link, exactly, phishing link. Great, great guess. So these employees, so what the that particular hacker did is he basically sent a phishing link, guys. Phishing link. What did he mention in this phishing link? So what he did is he basically cloned the employees portal. So whenever you go for employees portal, what do we exactly have in the employees portal? So let's say this is basically the employees portal. Under this employees portal, you will have something logo of eBay here. You will have a logo of eBay, and here you will have a username that is either your employee email ID, office email ID or something. Here you will have the password. Here you will have the password. Now, here one thing what we need to check whenever you're trying to browse some links or whenever you try to click on links, you need to make sure. So let me just show you in a live scenario here how it is exactly done. Here, if I type amazon.com, enter. Now, whenever you go for this Amazon.com, here you can see Amazon.com, right? Amazon.com. So what these people will exactly do, they will basically try to trick us. They will basically write AMAAZON dot co dot XYZ, something like that. So .com is basically the original domain name of the Amazon. What these people will do, they will just try to trick this .com as .co.xyz or .co.in or .co. Whatever cheaper domain name is available, they will try to clone it in that way. So let's type Amazon fake websites. So usually whenever you type Amazon fake websites, you'll get a lot of websites. Let's see internet scams and phishing links. Amazon help. 17 scams to know. Okay, I'll show you in future. We have a separate module for this. So just try to observe this one part. Whenever you go for Amazon.com, you will just try to keep .xyz, .co, .abc, something like that. And they will trick us to buy the product there. Same thing happened with this eBay employees. What that guy did is whenever you go for the HTTP link, which is viewed here on the top of the page, this link was not ebay.com. This link was some HTTPS colon slash slash ebay.co.xyz, something like that. And these particular, there were only 4 employees, guys. Only 4 employees, they entered the details in this. They click that particular phishing link, they enter the details. So this particular hacker, whoever the X person is, he got the access to username, he got the access to password. Once he got the access to username and password, what he did, he directly went to eBay official portal, he logged in and he tried to breach all the data. 145 million customers data, including customer names, encrypted passwords, emails, postal addresses and contact numbers with date of births. He tried to get all the data and he basically removed the access. Once he removed the access, these people were unable to catch him and the customer's data has been gone. So this is one of the most one of the biggest hack in the you can tell till now 140 million users is basically one of the biggest number whose data got breached. Now we have second case study. This is quite interesting. This is quite interesting, guys. Try to look here. So how many of you know what is so how many of you have Play Store in your mobile phones? Play Store. How many of you have Play Store in your mobile phones, guys? Everyone. So The person who is downloading, the person who is using Android mobile phone, right? Each and every person who is using Android mobile phone definitely has Play Store in it. Now, whenever you go for Play Store case study, let me just enter Google here. So this is Google Play Store case study. Now try to listen, guys. This is very interesting. Okay. So in Google Play Store, remember the name. Remember the name. There is only one person who did this. His name is Ibrahim Belic. Ibrahim Belic. Now who is this Ibrahim Belic? He is a Turkish hacker. Ibrahim Belic is basically a Turkish hacker, and what he exactly did is he didn't hack Google Play Store once, he hacked Google Play Store twice, guys, two times. So once he hacked the first time, after few days, again he attacked and again he got the same access. So this is basically a Turkish hacker who hacked Google Play Store twice. Now, before understanding this exactly, you need to understand. So, how exactly he did is, there is basically a term called vulnerability, guys. Vulnerability. So what is exactly vulnerability is nothing but whenever you try to build a platform, whenever you try to look for all the security measures, and there is one particular part where you have one kind of weakness or one kind of bug or one kind of loophole. So this particular loophole is called as vulnerability. Now what these hackers will do is they are going to try, they will basically try to scan your web application, they will try to look for all the loopholes, they will do lot of information gathering, they will do lot of information gathering, they will do lot of information like either what is the protocols you are using on the platform, how many what is the version of the databases, what are the servers you are using, from where are you getting the storage, either it is cloud or either it is any kind of hardware server. So these everything, what type of operating system, each and every detail will be taken. What is mean by loophole, sir? So loophole is nothing but Ritvik. So how it will work is, so let's say I builded one I'll show you live. Okay, I'll show you live. We'll go again to amazon.com. Now whenever you go for amazon.com, let's say I am the owner of this amazon.com, and here let me just see this. I'll go for shop now and I'll open this laptop product. So this one product is there, right? So back in 2000, you can tell 2004 or 2005, what people used to do is, because Amazon website was built normally, like it doesn't have a lot of security features. Okay, so what people used to do is they used to directly go into the back end of the code, inspect, and here you can directly go to the back end of the code, and here you have the price of this particular code, right? $968. Here you have $968. You can see now, guys, $968. And here also in the HTML code, you have $968. Now you can basically manipulate this $968 and you can make it some $1. And you make it this $1 and you try to see, guys, I basically made it $1. Now, usually what will happen is if this $1 is there and I try to buy the product, once I click on buy, again it is going to change to $968 itself. But back in 2007, 2008, whenever Amazon was entering e-commerce website newly, that time what used to happen is it used to book the order with this $1 price itself. It doesn't, it was not going, it wouldn't update the price to original price. So here $968 is there, no? So whenever I'm placing the order, this $1 should be updated, so it should be undone and it should be automatically turned to $968. So I should not be able to order it in $1, right? because the product is already $968 it costs. So it is basically a scam. So these kind of scams, lot of people did these kind of scams. Lot of people successfully ordered lakhs of products. After Amazon knowing the weakness, then it tried to audit its code. It tried to audit the website completely. So this is basically a loophole. This is kind of one loophole. Not only this is for a front end of the website. If you go for database, you got lot of loopholes. If you go for some kind of cloud, you got lot of loopholes. IoT security, under IoT, Alexa is there, Siri is there. Once upon a time, whenever Alexa was released, right? Whenever Alexa was released in the market, till 8 to 10 months, Alexa has lot of vulnerabilities. Continuous vulnerabilities were there, continuous loopholes were there. So these loopholes, what they will do is they will try to cause the hacker to exploit this particular part. So $1 is there now. If I try to buy the product in $1, it will basically technically called as I found the vulnerability. This is the vulnerability here, and I am trying to exploit it. Exploiting is nothing but making use of it. How I am making use of it? By buying this product in the same price, that is $1. So I am faking this price. I am scamming the seller on Amazon.com. I am scamming the website on the whole website Amazon.com, and also the developers who developed this website. So that is how you find vulnerabilities. So now basically this vulnerability is not present, but back 5 to 10 years back it was there. It was live. So a lot of people made benefit of it. So these type of vulnerabilities are there. So whenever you go for websites, different loopholes are there, different weaknesses are there. Whenever you go for n number of web servers, different loopholes are there. So loopholes is nothing but, guys, I'm trying to explain the same thing. Loophole is nothing but whenever you try to find some flaw, or whenever you try to find some weakness, that particular weakness is called as vulnerability. And loophole has also the same meaning. That means, let's say you have user ID and password. Okay, if you type wrong user ID, still you are logging in into the website. That is one loophole, that is one weakness of the website. Same thing, that is also called as technically vulnerability. We'll name it as a vulnerability in security perspective. So try to remember that thing. So we'll go in detail in this part. So let's continue for now. So here we have Ismail Belich, the person who hacked Google Play Store twice. So he found a vulnerability. He tried to exploit that vulnerability. So exploiting a vulnerability is nothing but, guys, whenever you find a weakness or whenever you find a loophole or anything, you try to make use of it. You try to take benefit of that weakness. So if someone, you know someone's weak part, right? In normal day-to-day life, if you know someone's weakness and you try to take benefit of that weakness, then that is called as exploiting the weakness. Here in the same way, whenever you go for security perspective also, vulnerability is basically known as weakness or any kind of loophole in the loophole, and exploiting is nothing but making use of it. Here we are making use of it for the bad purpose. So hackers, what they will do, they will find the vulnerability. Same thing here also. This particular eBay website, whenever 140 million users got hacked, this particular hacker whose name is X, this particular X person knows that these employees will try to log in into this website. They will definitely log in. So he tried to find out the emails, he tried to gather the information, and then he tried to share it to that link, share the phishing link to all the employees. So from all, let's say 200 to 300 employees, at least 3 to 4 employees tried to log in. He got the credentials, then he moved forward and tried to steal all the 140 million customers' data. So that is how it happened. Now, here guys, one thing to mention, whenever you go for Play Store, normally, Play Store, under this Play Store, we have something called as Google's Developer Console. Google's Developer Console. So one is going to be the user console where we are trying to download all the applications. Another one is going to be the Google's Developer Console. Now, what exactly Ismail Belic did is he basically developed an app and he uploaded that app to the Google Play Store. So that app has the malware or some kind of script where whenever you go for this application, if once he basically uploaded the application to the Play Store, so the whole Play Store stopped working for some period of time. So no one was able to download an application, no one was able to upload an application, or no one was able to code on the developer console. That is what exactly he did. So exactly, whenever you go for this vulnerability, whatever he found, he developed a kind of application and he crashed the console of Google Play Store. Crashing the console in the sense no one is able to access any of the applications from Google Play Store. It is completely down, not working. If you open Google Play Store, it is not even opening the app. That kind of uh, that kind of vulnerability he found and he tried to hack the Google Play Store. And this was not done once, guys. This was done twice. Okay, you want me to repeat it? So, guys, listen. Whenever you go for Ibrahim Belic, Ibrahim Belic is basically a person. He is a Turkish hacker. So what he did is he tried to test Google Play Store. Okay, it is basically called as vulnerability testing. So while testing, he got to know that there is one vulnerability in Google Play Store. So he found out that vulnerability, whatever the weakness of the Play Store was there, he tried to find it out. And based upon that weakness, to make benefit of that weakness, what he did is he developed an application. So that application he tried to upload on Google. Like whenever you go for BGMI game, whenever you go for some Facebook, Instagram, or any of the application. So whenever a develops an application, he tries to add it on Google Play Store. Then customers will view it and download it. Same thing what he did, he developed an application, he uploaded it. But that application inside has some malicious content. Whenever I point out malicious content is nothing but some kind of, I refer to some kind of viruses, some kind of malwares which are harmful for your applications. Now this particular application whatever he developed, it was harmful for the whole Google Play Store. So whatever Google Play Store platform was there, right, some millions of applications, so he tried to affect all the Google Play Store platform itself. So no one will be able to download the application, no one will be able to upload the application. So developer will develop the application, he will try to upload, he will try to publish it on Google Play Store. It is not working. So one user is there, he wants to download Amazon.com. So he is unable to open the Play Store, he is unable to download that particular application. So this thing was done by Ibrahim Belic, and it was done twice. Once it was done for the downloads, once it was done for the uploads. Uploads is nothing but whenever a developer is uploading, he was unable to upload. Whenever a user was trying to download in his personal mobile phone, he was unable to download. So twice this person tried to do the same thing. After that, they basically try to patch the vulnerability. They found a solution, and what they did is they try to patch this particular vulnerability. Clear, guys? So these are the two different case studies. One is Google Play Store, another one is e-commerce. The reason why I am sharing these case studies is because whenever you go for these kind of case studies, it is important to learn from these real-time scenarios. And now let's continue with this. So people using internet, we discussed this, what is information security, and this is the information you will find on the internet. Normal user in day-to-day life, he will search something on Google. So your Gmail will be shared to the Google. YouTube, Gmail will be shared. Social media, Gmail, date of birth, phone number, some kind of OTPs, and photos, videos will be shared, the personal information. Government IDs, the whole identity will be shared, bank account details, everything, whatever your bank account is there, IFSC code, UPI ID, everything will be shared while you basically try to pay on online on internet. Passwords, however, you know, phone numbers also we know. Now, this is for users. Now whenever you go for this particular people, if you want to protect these particular people, what you need, so if you are a cyber security engineer, what will you do to protect your So let's say you own a platform, okay? Let's take an example of any kind of e-commerce website. Let's take an example of eBay. Okay, if you are basically owner of eBay, if you are basically owner of Flipkart, Amazon, Instagram, any kind of application which is on internet, so what will you do to protect your customers' data? What are the measures you will take to protect the customers' data? Tell me, guys. If you are the owner of the, okay, encrypt is one, okay. See, listen to it carefully once again. If you own a software company, what will you do to protect your customers' data? Using firewalls, using encryption, using access control, that is strong user IDs and passwords, authentication, okay. More, guys. Okay, that is good, guys. Thank you. So here, let me tell you guys, intrusion detection system, that is firewalls, security keys, two-step verification, multi-factor authentication, two-factor authentication, higher security, exactly, higher security analyst. So guys, yes, this is the answer. By hiring cyber security specialists. See, techniques each and everyone know, right? I also know techniques, but how are we going to implement those techniques? How are we going to implement firewalls? How are we going to implement security keys, encryption, IAM, that is identity and access management? How are we going to do it? We need some kind of skilled people. That is basically we are going to hire. So who are we going to hire? We are going to hire some kind of cyber security professionals who are going to take care of all the data. Now, so let's say we got hire security experts. Uh, let's not name each and every job role here. We will try to go for the domains itself. So in one particular office, what are the different number of you can tell security domains you will find. If one office is there, what kind of security things one office needs, what kind of domains? So first one I will tell you guys. Okay, database security is one. Good. Database security. Second one is network security. Very good. Network security is one. Cloud security is one. Next, guys, more infrastructure security. So verification, information. Okay. One more thing is we need something related to cryptography. Cryptography is nothing but, guys, for encryption and decryption, we need someone to handle cryptography part. So these are basically different domains we need to concentrate on. Now, whenever you go for this, you will get a number of list, guys. Once I basically start typing the list, it will keep on going. Mobile application, risk management, security operations, security operations center analyst, monitoring, incident response, a lot of things are there. So let's stop till here. So the solution is whenever you want basically to secure your customers' data, you need to hire some high security experts so that they can come and they can protect your whole information, whatever your information, customers' information is there. So, okay, to protect the customer's data, we hired security experts. Now, security experts are nothing but, guys, they are employees, right? These people are nothing but they are going to be employees. YES. Okay. Here, to protect these particular customers' data, we hired employees. Now, to protect this employees' data, what are we going to do? What should we do to protect this employees data? So in this case, whenever you go for eBay website, so because of these customers only the data breach happened. So I don't want this to be happened in my website, in my company. So what should I do and how should I take measures? What can I do to protect my employees data, guys? Either employees email IDs so that they don't receive any phishing links, either employees you can tell drives, that is basically either OneDrive, Google Drive, so the data doesn't get breached. So what can I do? So what can I do, guys? Whenever I want to scanning network traffic, okay. No, see, scanning network traffic again is completely for this one, the infrastructure security. So employees will only take care of the scanning network, this. So if I, okay, let's move forward. So whenever you go for employee security, so to basically secure this employee security, we got something called as, CIA Triad. We got something called as CIA Triad, guys. So what does CIA Triad stand for? Anyone know what is CIA Triad? What is CIA Triad, guys? What is C for? Yeah, exactly. C is for confidentiality. C is for confidentiality. I is for integrity. And A is for availability. Now, whenever I tell confidentiality, integrity, and availability, what exactly do I mean and what exactly I want to deliver to my employees? So what is the motive of using CIA triad, guys? So let me give you an example. So whenever I go for my employees data, the reason why I'm using CIA triad is, so whenever you go for C, that is basically confidentiality. So confidentiality, whenever I tell I am using CIA Triad. So under CIA Triad, confidentiality basically stands for not sharing the employees' data. Not, I'll make sure that I don't allow to share employees' data to anyone. That is confidentiality. Now, whenever I go for integrity, what is integrity? What is the motive of integrity? I will make sure that data doesn't get tampered. Data doesn't get tampered. CA TRAD refers to confidentiality designed to, yeah, exactly. So data, I don't want my data to get tampered, and availability is nothing but, guys, one of the best example for availability is, so whenever you go for availability, you can take an example of ATMs. So what are these ATMs? Why am I giving the example of ATMs is because, see, example is straight. Just try to understand this scenario. Whenever you go for a bank, let's take a bank example, that is SBI Bank. If we basically have a SBI Bank, now what SBI Bank does? So SBI Bank is providing a banking service. The service is to help customers to either get their money, to save their money, to protect their money, each and everything related to finance. Okay. Now, what is the timing of SBI Bank, guys? What are the timings of bank working hours? So let's say I want to go to bank. Can I go to bank at night 10 o'clock, at 10 p.m.? Yes or no, guys? Can I go to bank at no, right? So this is not possible. No one will be there in the bank. Okay, can I go at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. in the morning? Yes. At 12 p.m., yes, I can go in the morning. Now, whenever I can't go at 10 p.m., so here the bank working hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Let's say 5 p.m. or 4 p.m. something. These are basically working hours. Now, whenever I tell 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., now if I want to get money, there is an emergency, I want to get money. So I can't go to bank because 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. is the time. Now at 10 p.m. I need cash. What should I do? So what these banks did is they followed the availability part. So availability is nothing but if the particular organization is not even working, if the particular organization is not even working, it is not in a working state, still they should be able to provide the service in a secured way. So that particular way is going to be ATMs. That is the best example. If the bank is closed, bank is open, it is a public holiday, festival, some kind of Bharat Bandh or anything doesn't matter. ATM is always going to be open and anytime you can go and withdraw the cash. There is basically particular procedure. If you follow the procedure, you can definitely draw. So same comes with the availability part. Availability completely refers to if you can't if you can't go for this services, if you can't go for the company, if you can't respond to your customer, you should be able to provide him service by any source. Either you follow the same SBI bank and ATM scenario, either you go for customer care service to be 24 hours live, something like that. Now, sir, integrity means, guys, integrity means nothing but whenever I tell something called as data tampering. Data tampering is nothing but manipulating the data. Whenever you go for your customers' data, if your customers' data is public, it is not private, then people will try to use your customers' data and they will try to get access to different websites. Let's say your customer, your employee's ID card is gone. Okay, he basically lost his ID card, and there is some other person who got his ID card on road or somewhere. Now, what that particular will do, a person will do, he will try to take his ID card, he will try to stick his own photo on that particular ID card, and he will scan the door will definitely open of my office. He will try to get in, he will try to steal something. So here the solution, whatever the answer is, whenever you go for integrity, the solution is data tampering. It means data tampering. Data tampering is nothing but manipulating the data and using it for the own use. That is how data tampering is going to work. So that is how it is going to work, guys. Data tampering is nothing but using your employees' data and trying to use it on for your own purpose. That is how data tampering is going to work. Now, whenever you go for these organizations, I guess now everyone know how we are going to protect our employees' data. So first thing is how we are going to protect our customers' data by hiring these security experts. They will follow a lot of technical things, either scanning, either vulnerability analysis, either going for monitoring IP addresses, monitoring network traffic. This everything they will do, and they will make sure that our all customers data is secure. Now if you want to secure this particular employees data, then definitely you need to follow this CIA triad, and you need to make sure that you build some kind of security policies. You build some kind of security policies. So this each and every policies should be followed by this particular employees. So policies are nothing but whenever you go for corporate companies, what they basically do is they give you some separate laptops. On that laptop, you cannot open YouTube, you cannot open YouTube, you cannot open any kind of social media. Social media is not available, YouTube is not available, nothing is available. Directly you go, you log in into your Microsoft account, you go for your whatever software they have provided, you open it and you work it. That is it, nothing else. That is basically a completely you can tell a restricted laptop. So why they basically follow this is because they follow a policy. Each and every office follows a policy. Whenever you go for this particular policy, this security policy this security policy is followed. Guys, am I audible, guys? Still anyone is facing any kind of sound issues? Can you please confirm, or it is only Aditya? Audible, right? Okay. Aditya, please try to check your internet connection once, or try to rejoin the meeting if possible. So, okay, guys, let's continue. Whenever you go for these policies, one of the you can tell common policy. One of the common policies, blocking social media, blocking some kind of YouTube applications, streaming applications, or blocking some kind of third-party applications, and also blocking some kind of HTTP applications. HTTP applications are nothing but they are not secured, guys. Connection is not going to be secured. That's why they block the HTTP websites. They allow you to use only HTTPS, that is completely encrypted and completely good websites, which are following some protocols, security protocols, good encryption and decryption. So that is how they are going to follow. Like this, you have different policies for databases, different policies for you can tell uh, firewalls, intrusion detection systems, intrusion prevention systems. You have something called as networking, scanning, IP addresses. So Wi-Fi settings, Wi-Fi also you have some policies. What can you browse on that particular Wi-Fi connection? What you cannot browse. There is also one kind of policy. So each and every employee should follow these policies. So for that reason, we have something called as CIA triad. Guys, still there is an issue on my voice. Anyone? No, right? Naveen, please try to check your internet connection. Naveen and Aditya, please try to check your internet connection and try to reconnect to the meeting if you're getting the same voice. So the reason why we use CAA triad, guys, so that each and every employee follows the rules and policies, so their data doesn't get breached and we don't end up like eBay. What eBay did, what eBay employees did, we don't need to be like this company. So we need to follow the strict CIA triad rules. We need to follow strict policies. We need to build strict policies. Then only our infrastructure is going to be secured. Either it is servers, databases, doesn't no doesn't matter. Whatever is connected to our company, we want it to be secured. Now, guys, when we are speaking about employees, when we are speaking about employees, when we are speaking about customers, so whenever you go for these customers and employees, these both combinedly, they basically build an organization. Now, we have something called as organization. Organization. Now, let's discuss what are the threats for these organizations, guys. Can anyone tell me what are the threats for organization? Any organization. It can be anything, hardware, software, doesn't matter. What are the threats for the organization? Data breach is one, okay. Phishing, okay. Insider threats, good. Insider threats is one. Security issues, data excesses, cross-site scripting, SQL injection, virus, hacking. Okay, let's get started with each and every part. So first thing I want to discuss is, just a second. Yeah, first thing I want to discuss is cloud. Cloud computing threats. Nowadays, actually what is happening is whenever you go for this cloud computing, each and every organization is using cloud computing, guys. Each and every person, whatever, because the reason why they are using cloud computing is it is much more cheaper. It is much more available on internet. If you have good internet, you can basically go and you can access this cloud, whatever data you have stored there. So it is much more feasible for those people. So it is much more, it is very important to secure your cloud connections. Now, what exactly happens in cloud computing is, in cloud computing, it is like whenever you're trying to access the cloud information. So in between, it can be like someone can sniff your network. Sniffing is nothing but whenever you're trying to download some data from cloud. So in between, someone can basically break your connection, or someone can basically manipulate your data. or he can basically hijack the whole request, whatever you're requesting to download, right? He can basically do hijacking. So here let me just write what are the exact threats. First one is software access. Software access. You got hijacking. You got data loss or data leakage. Data leakage or data loss. And also you got something, what are you guys telling? Malware threats, DOS attacks. Okay. DOS is also one kind of attack. Denial of service attack. You got something called as insecure API. Insecure APIs, using insecure APIs in your applications. That is one. The people who don't know it, guys, you don't need to worry. We have detailed complete modules in future. So either on fourth or fifth module or third module, we have detailed each and every module separately. In that I'd explain exactly from zero what is DOS, what is insecure API, what is data leakage and everything. Right now we'll just try to learn briefly what is this. Software access is nothing but, guys, whenever you're building a platform, you need to follow some uh, a kind of secure architecture policies. Second one is hijacking is nothing but whenever you're trying to build a connection with cloud computing or any other websites from cloud, you need to make sure that you don't try to use some third-party Wi-Fi networks. So whenever you try to use third-party unsecured Wi-Fi networks, so basically it can be a trap. So it can be a trap. So anyone can hijack your particular session, whatever you're doing on whatever you're downloading from that particular cloud, that information can be hijacked. Data leakage or data loss also works on the same thing. Someone can, whenever you go for use third-party Wi-Fi's or you allow some outsider to use your personal Wi-Fi, someone else is using your personal Wi-Fi because you are using some weak passwords. That time what will happen is he will try to breach your data. Nothing but he will try to sniff by using some tools like Wireshark or something. He will try to sniff all your tools, sniff all your data. Now, once he sniffs all the data, he can get usernames, he can get passwords, he can get some n number of data, right? DOS attack is nothing but, guys, it is called as denial of service attack. Can anyone tell me what is denial of service attack? So let me keep it in a simple way for now. Denial of service is nothing but, let's take an example. I'll give you a good example, okay? You have two different competitors in the market. One is Flipkart and one is Amazon. Okay. Now, Flipkart is there, Amazon is there. Let's say there is Amazon, there is Flipkart. Now, whenever you go for a normal client server model, here you will have a client, here you will have a client, here you will have a server, and here you will have a website. That is basically your DNS. DNS is nothing but, guys, Amazon.com, something like that, Flipkart.com, and here you will pass the request through internet. Now, whenever client is sending a request to a server, server will basically take a request and process it, and it will basically verify the IP is fake or real. Once the IP is genuine, then it is going to send the request to the domain name, that is Amazon.com. Now, what will happen is Amazon.com has a sale. Amazon.com has a sale. Flipkart also has a sale. So whenever both are basically completely competitors, right? So Amazon is selling, let's say, 1 lakh products per day. Flipkart is sending only 50,000 products per day. Now what Flipkart will smartly do is it will basically try to do DOS attack on Amazon servers. So what he will do exactly is once he perform DOS attack, what will happen here? Whenever client is sending a request here, whenever client's data is being passed in this, so whenever whatever this path is, there is but basically one path which requests are being transferred to the server. This path, what will exactly happen is Here you will perform DOS attack. What will happen in the DOS attack? You will create n number of fake requests. By creating fake IP addresses, you will create n number of fake requests which genuinely look like customers only. So you will basically try to create a number of fake requests and you will try to send it to the server. Once you send it to the server, server capacity will be some 10,000 requests per day, per second, sorry, 10,000 requests per second, something like that. Now you generate 1 lakh fake requests per second. That time what will happen? Server capacity will be overloaded completely. Server capacity will overloaded and server will be unable to function. So that time what will happen? Once the server is unable to function, it will not forward any request to the domain name. That is, amazon.com is not available on the internet completely. So here exactly what we are doing by using DOS attack, we are trying to overload this particular server in a way that this server will be unable to process the number of requests. So once you send the fake requests, the genuine customers who are trying to access, they will be unable to access the website. That is the main motive of using DOS attack, guys. So I hope everyone understood what exactly DOS attack is. So we have some detailed web application, hacking web applications module. In that we will discuss exactly how DOS attack is done, what are the tools for DOS attack, how people secure these websites and everything. So till here, I guess it is clear to everyone, guys. Can you give me quick confirmation? It is clear how DOS attack works? Quick confirmation, guys. Okay. Now, one more important part. What is API? Can anyone tell me what is API? Application Programming Interface. How will it work? API. So I'll give you one more good example. Okay. So try to understand what is API. API full form is Application Programming Interface. So what is this application programming interface and how will it work? So I'll give you a good example. Here we have a okay. So can anyone tell me what are the whenever so basically I want to go to some country. If I want to go to Germany, so where should I go and book my flight tickets, guys? And where should I go and book my flight tickets? Which website is good? Which website is good? Emirates is good. Okay. AirAsia is good. More anything? Yeah. What is it? Deccan, Air India. Okay. These are all flight names, guys. I need websites names. Make My Trip, something like that. Yeah. Make My Trip is one. Again, Make My Trip. So Make My Trip is one. Ixigo, Trivago, Goibibo. Okay, good. Okay, whenever you go for application programming interface, I'll tell you exactly how does it work. API. How this API works. Try to understand, guys. So here, one side we have Make My Trip, MMT. We have Ixigo. We have Ixigo. We have what is the website? Agoda. Okay. And Trivago. Okay. Trivago. Trivago. We have these 4 different websites, okay, where I can go and I can book tickets. Now here I'll go for flights. What are the good flights? One flight is Emirates. I can go for Emirates. I can go for Emirates. That is basically going to be one flight. Second flight is Air Asia. Someone told Air Asia. Someone told Air India. Some people told Vista, not Vista, I guess. Okay, we'll take this, and British Airways is also one good option. British Airways. So these are basically, yeah, you can Deccan. Okay, Deccan. So you got this n number of websites. Now, guys, my question is, so whenever I basically open MMT, that is Make My Trip. So under this Make My Trip, I'll be able to find all the flights of this particular companies, right? I can find Emirates, I can find Air Asia, I can find Air India, British Airways, and also Deccan Airways. These are all available on Make My Trip, Ixigo, Agoda, Trivago. Now, whenever I try to book a flight ticket, what will happen is, so here exactly, whenever let's say Emirates has 5 seats left and the price is 30,000 of that particular one ticket, 30,000. And whenever the 30,000 price is there, now these 4 seats have been sold. There is only one remaining seat. So the price has increased to 50,000 rupees. So whenever you go to this particular flight websites, as less as the flight seats are there, that much price will be doubled. So one seat is there, that seat price is 50,000 rupees. Now, whenever you go for this price fluctuations, the seats are less, price is getting increased, price is getting decreased. So 20 seats occupied, 30 seats booked, 10 seats booked, only 5 are remaining. So whatever this information is there, so Emirates will update its own website. Emirates will update the information only on its own website. Emirates is not going to update it on Make My Trip website. Emirates personally is not going to update it on Ixigo website. So here what will happen is, whenever Emirates will update the information on its own website, Air India will update all the information, that is available seats, price, everything, timing, whatever changes are there, they update it on their own websites. So how these Make My Trip, Ixigo, Agoda, and Trivago are getting the information in 2 to 3 seconds and they are updating on their own platform? How is it possible? The reason is, in between you have APIs. So for Emirates, you have one API. Air Asia, you have one API. Air India, you have API. British Airways website has one API. Deccan Airways has one API. So what Make My Trip will do is, Make My Trip wants to get the information each and every second. It wants the information to be auto updated. Whatever price changes are there, available seats are there, whatever you can tell, the timings have been changed, that should be updated on the Make My Trip. So what Make My Trip developers will do, they will call the APIs of Emirates. So whenever they're trying to code, they will basically take the API from the Emirates. They'll try to take the API of Air Asia, API of Air India, API of Deccan, API of British Airways. Once it gets all the APIs, whatever Make My Trip will display on the particular page, each and every time Emirates will change the price, automatically Make My Trip website will also update the price in 2 to 3 seconds only, or else in milliseconds. Air Asia also same thing. Whenever Air Asia or Air India are trying to update the information, at the next second only, Ixigo will try to, or Make My Trip will try to update the information. So whenever you call all these APIs, guys, now whenever I tell something called as insecure APIs, so let's say you can tell Emirates websites is basically a genuine website. I can tell it is completely secured. But whenever you go for cloud computing, whenever you're calling this APIs, you should make sure that the API you are calling from a website should be completely secured. AirAsia API, you need to check first whether this API is secured, then only you need to call it on your website. Then you need to check another API, then only you need to call it on your website. So you can't basically call any of the unsecure API on your website. So let's say Emirates website is not secure and you are calling that, Make My Trip is calling the API. Now what will happen is, if this particular website is getting hacked, automatically the API will call for the, through this API, Make My Trip can also get some data breach. It also can get affected. So that is the reason why insecure APIs are going to be the bigger threats under this cloud computing. So in cloud computing, you're using the whole cloud computing platform. So that particular platform, on that particular platform, you need to make sure whatever API services you are calling from any of the, usually here I took an example of this particular flights and this market. So whenever you go for softwares, guys, under the softwares, development softwares, project management tools, these are all, they basically call n number of APIs and they try to integrate everything on one particular platform. Like what Make My Trip did, it basically called APIs from different number of websites, different number of websites, and it tried to integrate everything in one particular website, and it named it as Make My Trip. So Ixigo, what it did, it got all the information from the flights companies and it basically updated as Ixigo. Same thing, what these developers and project managers will do, they will call all the APIs for that particular tools and they will keep in one particular dashboard and name that dashboard as company's dashboard. Let's say TCS. It will basically be TCS dashboard. You log into your cloud credentials, you will open this TCS dashboard. Here you will have tools like, let's say, VS Code, or some tool, DevOps tools like Jenkins, Git, or some tools like project management tools like Jira. So these are all tools have been called by using APIs. So this is the reason you need to use secure APIs. Now let's move forward. Yeah, it is basically a communication bridge between two applications. The reason why we use APIs is you can call out the services without downloading the software itself. You can call that particular service in the code itself. Yeah, exactly. Communication bridge, you can tell. So you have, if you go for another security threats, just a second, guys. Okay, you have something called as insider threats. Insider threats is there. One is insider threats. Another one is going to be botnets. You have something called as networking threats. You have something called as insider threats. One second. Yeah, insider threats, networking threats, botnets. You have application threats. You have operating system threats. So these are all n number of different threads, guys. If you basically try to list them down, you will have n number of threads. So these are basically majority of the threads that you will find. Application threads basically work for web applications, mobile applications, n number of applications. Networking threads go for all the network traffic, IP addresses, DOS attacks, server side attacks. Botnets are nothing but they cover viruses, malwares, some kind of you can tell denial of service attacks also they try to cover, because denial of service attack you can basically do it on creating botnets also. So insider threat is nothing but, let me review in detail. Insider threat is nothing but, guys, if one of your company's employee tries to sell the own data, the company he is working on, basically he is backstabbing the company. So one employee is working under, let's say, some person named Bob. Bob is working with me. Now what Bob will do is he will go to another company and he will sell all my company's data. That is basically insider threat. If someone of your own company is trying to leak the data, that is insider threat. Now, what is botnet, guys? So botnet is nothing but whenever you go for botnets, viruses, worms, these are all nothing but, guys, these are some kind of malwares. You can tell these are some kind of piece of code which you will try to execute on some particular network or particular application, so that it will execute by itself and it will try to give you the access of that particular website. Now, what are networking threats? Networking threats are nothing but either you can go for information gathering, so you can go for sniffing. Sniffing is nothing but you try to steal the information which is being transmitted from one IP address to another IP address. For example, if you go for WhatsApp, if you're sending a message to someone, sir, is lack of physical security comes under insider threats. So in no, physical security is another term. Insider threat is completely related to your employees who is basically working with you inside the company. He is going to leak your information. That is insider threat. I'll tell about physical threat also. So networking threat is nothing but, guys, you got a denial of service attack, firewall. If you're trying to bypass firewall, if you're trying to attack on firewall, that is also network. if you're trying to attack on domain name, that is Amazon.com is there. Amazon.com basically has a separate server, right? Domain name has a separate server. So if you're trying to hack that server, so whenever there is a client sending a request to a server, if you hack that server, that also comes under networking threats. So application threats are there. So application threats are nothing but authentication and authorization. Authentication means user IDs and passwords. Authorization means giving permission to user is different. Giving permission to administrator is different. If you keep that in mind, then there is no kind of threat. If you basically give admin access to all the users, then they will try to use whatever information is there. So SQL injection is there, encryption, decryption in applications, no proper encryption, decryption will be done. That is also one threat. Operating system attacks are nothing but guys, whenever you try to update your Windows. So whenever you try to update your phone also, either it is Android, iOS, starting like 1 week or 2 weeks, you will get some kind of bugs. You will get some kind of different errors in your phone. Like these bugs, what they will do is they'll try to patch them after 1 week. Once they find those bugs are there, users are getting difficulty to use the operating system, then they will try to automatically patch it. Once it is patched, that is not a vulnerability anymore. So that is one. Whenever the new version is released in the operating system, that particular operating system will have bugs, but they should make sure that they will patch it in time. That is one. Now whenever you go for physical address, so basically physical, this is not physical address, physical threat. So whenever you go for this physical threat, guys, physical threats are nothing but if you basically have some kind of hardware, if you basically have servers, databases stored in one particular room. So whenever you go for offices, let me show you server in a office room. Try to look at this image, how exactly these servers will be placed. See, this is basically exactly how servers are placed. So there is one kind of room which is covered completely with glasses. Now this room has a AC here. You can observe right this. This room has a central AC. See here there is an AC. Here there is a cupboard where all the connections have been done. So this is basically a server. Now, how it basically works is if you here, you don't everyone, each and every employee will not have access to this particular area. There are only 4 to 5 employees. So either it can relate to manager, either it can be some kind of person who is trying to do servicing of this particular server. They are only available to get in and they are only available to change something inside this server. So this is basically physical security. Here you might have some kind of biometric system, some kind of ID card verification, ID verification, or some kind of you can tell facial verification, face ID, that kind of security. So that is basically physical security. If someone tries to break this door and tries to enter and tries to install something on this server, that is basically the physical threat. So you need to have proper security protocols, that is ID card verification or fingerprint verification, face ID verification. Those things you need to follow if you basically want to secure this. So here you can see there are multiple, see, here one is there. And if you go for this one, see here another one is there. So like this, they are basically closed doors, guys. Each and every door is completely closed. They are locked properly. So limited people will only have the access. Each and every person will not have the access. So that is what physical threat means. So that is how it will be done, guys. So still, if you have any doubts, you can ask, guys. If you have any doubts, I hope the topics are clear. Please let me know if you have any doubts. Okay, you want something about application threat. So application threat is nothing but how bugs are automatically fixed after few days of operating system updates, sir. See, what will happen is whenever you're using some kind of Android phone or iOS phone, you will try to install, let's say, iOS 17.0.1 some version came. Okay, so once you install that version, so this Apple, whoever owner is, whoever the authorized person is, he will try to basically monitor this particular software. Whenever a customer is using that particular update, he will try to look at that update, and if they have bugs, if they have anything, they will try to release another version. Let's say 17.0.1 version has bugs, they will patch those bugs and they will release 17.0.2 version again you will update it, automatically bugs will be gone. So each and every time you basically uh, like you find bugs, you get an older version, so they'll basically remove that particular update, they'll basically remove all the bugs, and then they will release a new version. So each and every time they see, Windows 7 has different threads. Windows 8 came, Windows 9 came, Windows 11 came. So as compared to Windows XP, and if you compare Windows 11, so there are a lot of things where Windows 11 has been updated, right? So that is how each and every time you have bugs, they are going to update the version, update the version, and they will ask you to install it. Once you install, bugs will be gone. So botnet means, nothing but Nagendra, sorry. You can tell botnet is nothing but if you basically hack one computer, let's say here it is one computer, this is your computer. Let's say this is my computer. This is some X person's computer, and this is one server. Now, I want to hack this server. So what exactly I'll do is I'll not go and directly hack this server. In between, first I will hack this X person's computer, and from this X person's computer, I will take the remote access and I will try to code everything here. I will try to deploy the attack and everything. From here, I will instigate the attack to this server. So in between, who this computer is basically called as botnet. This computer will basically called as botnet. Sir, you said that botnet is nothing but a malware. What does malware mean? So botnet I basically told right now. I hope you understood. So see guys, malwares, viruses and worms. See, okay, let me tell what is malware first. So whenever you go for a malware, so it is basically a piece of code, guys. It is basically a piece of code or piece of script. It is basically a piece of code or piece of script which is deployed in a either you go for spyware, either you go for adware, either you go for worms, viruses, botnets, trojans. These are all part of malware, types of malware. So how basically this malware act is, whenever you try to code this particular malware, you will code in a way that once a person, let's say a PDF is there, in the PDF backend, you will try to keep malware. So whenever the person downloads that particular PDF, automatically that malware will try to execute by its own. So whenever you go for virus, it has different particular, let's say spyware. Spyware steals your data. Adware spams. So whenever you go for botnet, you will basically take a access of this particular system which is in between, and you will make it as a botnet, which is also called as zombie. A dead person is called as zombie, right? Here also the system, once an attacker gets the access to the system, it is basically called as zombie. You're going to create a zombie. Like this, in between, I can create one more zombie, one more zombie. So whenever police is trying to track me here, police will get to know that server is hacked. They will try to look at the IP address. This IP address they will get. They'll come to this address. They will see this is nothing but a zombie, compromised computer. Someone is accessing it remotely. Again, they will come to this computer. Again, they will come to this computer. Like that, zombies are used. They are nothing but botnets. That is the way they are used. So botnet is also a part of malware itself, guys. It is also part of malware. So under malware, you got different types. 5 to 6 types are there. So those types you need to learn. We have a separate module for that. For now, for basic understanding, it is nothing but a software which is intentionally designed to get the access of the computer from the back end. that you try to remember. OS threats meant what, sir? Guys, OS threat is nothing but whenever you download a newer version of operating system. So if there is some kind of vulnerability or some kind of mistake done by the, let's say Windows is there. Once there is a new Windows version launched, okay. So that particular Windows version has some bugs or has some errors. So they are nothing but vulnerabilities. Someone can take advantage of that particular bug and he can basically get an access of your operating system. So what this company Windows will do, once it tries to update, once it tries to release a newer version, it will observe for 1 day, 2 days, and whatever bugs are there, again it will release a newer version. So automatically those operating systems will get updated and bugs will get patched automatically. So going through the cybersecurity will be tough or easy? Like it's totally new to the students. Guys, cybersecurity is nothing like a different something tough. Cybersecurity is easy only. Just try to make notes, try to remember whatever I'm writing on my whiteboard. Try to remember those key points so that you will remember. There is nothing, it is nothing tough. You can read everything. Key points of CIA triad. Key points of CIA triad. So key points of CIA triad is this only, guys. Confidentiality, not sharing the employees' data, not sorry, taking measures that our data doesn't get tampered. Data tampered is nothing but you can also name it as a manipulation, data manipulation. And also whenever you go for availability, so whenever our company is unavailable, so we need to make sure that our customers get services. So that is either related to security or either it is related to some part of general service. Sir, please share the recorded sessions that you can get from Blackbucks, guys. Sir, our next session will be tomorrow or day by tomorrow. You will get that information in your group. Data is complete, trustworthy, and has not been modified, accidentally altered, unauthorized user integrity data can be compromised intentionally. Sir, attendance. Attendance link will be shared. 1 second, guys. Let me just confirm. Yeah, attendance link has been shared. Please join the above attendance and feedback form about today's session. Sir, by compared by Android, why iOS is more secure? What is the basic thing that differ? You're asking for the basic thing, so I will tell it in a quick way. Okay, I'll not take much time. So this is iPhone. This is Android. Let's say this is Android and this is iOS. Under iOS, I hope. What's your name? Muhammad Ali. So Muhammad, I hope you heard whenever you go for iOS, you have some kind of A14, A15 chip in the back end, right? In the iPhone. And whenever you go for this Android, it doesn't have any kind of chip. So here, whenever you're trying to make a payment, you will use some third-party applications like PhonePe, Paytm, GPay. So what will happen is whenever you try to pay some X amount, so your request from phone will go to Google GPay server, and from GPay server it will go to that particular e-commerce Amazon, let's say. It will go to Amazon server, and again Amazon will send it to the bank server, and then bank server will debit the amount. It will basically cut the amount from your bank account or else your UPI ID. So here one is GPay server, GPay server or PhonePe server, that is third party server, and again e-commerce Amazon.com server, and again bank server. This e-commerce server and bank server are completely important, but Google Pay, Paytm server is basically going to be the third party server. Whenever it comes to iOS, under iOS, whatever bank details are there, they are stored in this A14 chip, not any kind of third party. So let's say I want to pay money. Okay, I am using Apple Pay. I am not using GPay. I am not using PhonePe. I am using Apple Pay. So here what will happen? From this particular chip, the request will be sent directly to e-commerce server, and e-commerce server will send it to bank server. The amount will be deleted. Here in between, I don't have to include any kind of GPay, Paytm, PhonePe servers. So whenever GPay gets hacked, your mobile gets hacked. But here, whenever GPay gets hacked, my mobile will not get hacked. That is the only reason. This is not only for Apple Pay payment, but each and every application will be isolated in the same way. We will have a session on that. So that is one thing, guys. Just try to remember this importance of this A14 chip. Whatever privacy passwords, everything are there, they are stored in this chip. Rather than storing in some third-party cloud or third-party web application, here you in phone itself you have the whole processor which is A14 chip which is going to save all your credentials. This is completely encrypted. So that's it for today, guys. If hacking is going on and how do company knows that they are hacked? So once the data is being downloaded, so because of monitoring, if you monitor the network, you will get to know. Why don't Android install those types of chips? Guys, that is the reason why iOS is much more costlier and Android is much more cheaper. Because Android has some kind of expensive hardware and expensive kind of applications environment, and Android doesn't have that environment. That is why people prefer iOS over Android. Yes, here in the chat you have attendance link, right? In the chat itself you have attendance link, guys. Try to scroll up and see. See, I shared it again. Dear students, please fill the above attendance and feedback form about today's session. Yeah, next session is going to be on 7 to 9 days. It is going to be for 2 hours. Now also it is 2 hours only, I guess, 9. Okay, thank you guys. That's it for today. If you have any doubts, we'll meet in the next session. Yeah, definitely, guys. I'll answer all your questions. Can you say how can we shift towards cloud from any other domain? What is the package for the candidate? So average package is going to be from 4 to 12 to 14 LPA. 4 lakhs. We can't tell exactly. So the starting salary may vary from 3.5, 3.8 LPA to some 12 to 15 LPA. There is no limit. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you so much for the session. Good night. If you have any doubts, please note down. We'll clear it in the next session. Thank you guys. Thank you.